welcome back everybody. Welcome back to the moth-hawk project. And today we're going to be working on the moth-hawk again. And this time, hopefully, we're going to get some things done. The main thing is that we actually need to work on the, the tail part. So yeah. Of course, this is going to be taking some time because otherwise it won't work. Sadly, just need to wait for, the load. Oh, there it is. Alright, so today we're going to be working on this bad boy over here. Why? Because apparently this is one of the most important parts of it. So if we're going to be taking a look at these are the colors that were left behind that are here, but we need one more color. So we have a big color here and a big color there. I believe that's the red, right? Is that the red? Is that the red? Let me just double check. No, that's the brown. It's the brown. Alright, cool. So we're gonna go back here and we're gonna look for the red. The red's supposed to be right over here. So one is the red, right? Yeah. That one should be red. So bleh. Issue didn't work fine. Welche horses? Das should. So these are the layers of the wing parts. We need to actually go to the tail, so we need to get over there. Nope, texture to that. There it is. Now we need to add something there above under it. Yeah, there you go. Now it should be fine. Yep, there you go. Easy fix. Alright, so we have that done. We now need to get our beautiful eraser done. Of course, we're going to be cancelling out the let's see where it is. So we're going to be cancelling out this one right here so that we can see where we need to aim. And we don't need that. We're just going to be adding this. So yeah, there you go. Easy. Now I can see at least everything. Cool. So yeah, today we're gonna be working on this part of the wing. Oh, well, it's the tail part, but it's both the same. So yeah, once this is all done, I believe then we are done for today. But I don't think we are able to get this done in one day, so alright for me at least. So yeah, today we're gonna be working on the tail, and that's gonna be lovely. I mean, obviously, it's not one of the most exciting things, but it is one of the best things to do because now, if we get this pattern done correctly and, the pattern looks nice on this part of the tail, then I can then work my way up to the belly. And once I have that done, I believe then we finally find out how to do it correctly. Alright. that done. I hope this time it actually works well. So, yeah. I have high hopes for it anyway, but you know, it's really hard for me to do this correctly, so I'm sorry if it's not gonna be looking well. Well, eh. Should I be sorry about this? Probably not. I should not be sorry about anything that I do right now. I promised myself I would make this pretty, and I'll get it done. There you go. Nice and peaceful transition instead of the lumps of red going around. Easy. So the idea here is that I actually work around and get this color in there. I mean, we'll be fine. It's just a little bit of color. The only thing that I think I will, will not miss or anything like that, but need to realize it's like you cannot always have everything to be perfect, but if you just do the little baby steps, then yeah, sure. I think baby steps towards things to be perfect is actually a good way to do things. Also, it's really hard sometimes to create this transition of colors, so that's why I'm actually trying to keep myself on it. I like to have this pretty transition of, to dark red to whiteless, so or colorless, and that's the idea. Because if I do that like right now, then once I'm getting the second color, I won't be able to, I will be able to do it quite quickly. Hmm. Is this right? Yeah, probably it is. It's just really hard to do. There you go. The main problem I'm always facing with these things is like, you know, did I overdrew it or did I do it correctly? And then at the end result is actually always better than, you know, than the doubt that's gonna be lifting after I'm done. I always doubt myself. I always do. I don't know why I'm doing it. Probably because it's natural to doubt yourself for doing something like this, you know, coloring. It's like, hey, did you realize that you're doing the coloring right? And I'm like, yes, I forgot about that. Did I do it right? Do right? I don't know. I'm a very bad judge. But that should not hold me back. That only would create a better me. Even though if I would second doubt myself, I would not, you know, I won't forget or will be forgotten. Definitely not when I doubt myself. It's like, I make a mistake. Sure, I will try to do my very best to get that mistake out of there. But if I doubt myself, I'll roll with it. I'll just think like, ah yes, I kind of forgot about that problem. And hopefully, you know, once this whole damn thing is done and finished, it would have paid up. And that is always the thing that I'm holding myself dear to. There you go. Much better. So yeah, well, once this whole thing, once I'm done with, you know, my self-doubt, I'll tell you guys. It's just really hard for me to sometimes see how things work and how things run. No. How things run. Especially when it comes to these things. It's really hard for me. Why? Because the only time I will get the end result is once it's all fully finished. And that won't happen. Because, you know, we're working with different colors, we're working with different manners of how to do it, how to achieve it. So yeah. Should I remove this to 25? 27? Maybe? Yes, I should. Cool. I will. Then I will. Then I will have a better... Yes, that's a far smoother transition. Nice. Alright, cool. So yeah, once the whole damn feather, once these feathers are done, you know, this thing will look way cooler than before. I mean, it's already really nice looking, but I try to do my very best upon getting everything done. And improving upon, you know, the artwork is important. Not as much as finishing it, but, you know, I'll try to do my very best to finish it. It's just a really big project. Because all these feathers are the way how I drew them. That's my problem. It's always like, what if I did it wrong? What if I used the wrong colors? Then what? And I should not think like that. I should think like, yeah, I created colors right now and I'm gonna be rolling with them. And eventually, you know, it will pay off. So yeah, I'll try to do that instead. But the funny thing is actually that I'm trying to do my very best upon getting this thing done, concentrating as well, and then I'm like, yes, my mind. My mind is totally not capable of talking once I'm concentrating like this. Normally, you know, when I'm doing a concentrating thing, it's always like, Hmm. Huh. Huh. Hmm. Oh. Yeah, it's pretty damn empty when I'm thinking, because then the whole room gets silent and all that stuff. Because I'm trying to think upon how to get this thing fully finished and how to get this thing fully rolling. And don't get me wrong on this. I really like the color in this thing. It's just really hard for me sometimes because I'm not a very good person when it comes to coloring. I try to do my very best, but you know, I'm not the best of it the best. Maybe I should not try to do my very best, but you get the point. I'm not I'm not a natural colorer. I'm more a person that likes to draw black and white, but I learned back in the day it's like, yeah, you can try to do everything in black and white, but then still it's always good to have something in color. So yeah, I'm trying to improve upon that. It's like, you know, the mentality of, you know, oh man, I'm done with black and white. Now I'm gonna be doing the coloring part. And I'm trying to do my very best upon it. I could have done it all. I could have done everything here in black and white, but nah, that's too easy. You need to have a challenge. Well, you need to have a challenge and some feel of depth and some shadows and all that stuff. So yeah, that's also why I'm trying to do it. Like, I want to learn how to draw shadows. I like to learn how to draw um, heightings and lightings. So yeah, I need to do this. I need to learn it. So therefore, I need to make sure that I do it instead of, you know, avoiding the inedible. So yeah, even though, you know, even though I'm trying to do my very best, it's sometimes really hard. But there's nothing better than just, you know, keep on thinking that you can do it. Alright, cool. So yeah, we're almost at the end of this still, and then we're gonna go back to the beginning part again, and then, you know, repeat, repeat until we're done with everything. So yeah, I'm trying to do my very best, and looks like looks like I'm getting there. It just takes a long time. Oh well, you know. The little bits, that's what counts. Not the big parts, not the tiny parts, just the little bits, just the tiny bits that are coming across. Just talking about anything that comes to your mind is actually a quite challenging thing. It's like, what should I talk about? Well, I should talk about what I did today, yes. I know that I did some things today, yes, true, but they're not very interesting. They're just, you know, just me enjoying myself. And, you know, enjoyment is always, you know, great and all, but it's always handy dandy if you could enjoy it with friends. And that didn't happen because, you know, I'm still waiting for, you know, everything to get back to normal. Probably it won't ever be normal again, but at least I can then just go outside and do something. Now I'm just stuck trying to do things my way. Well, it turns out I can do things my way as well. I like to do that as well. My nephew is coming over for like a little sleepover. He wants to be on a sleepover, so I'm like, yeah, sure thing, buddy. So yeah, that means that tomorrow night I need to be waking. I need to be awake and well, and then tomorrow, and then the day after that. Well, technically it's tomorrow night, and then, you know, in 6 hours my nephew is coming on. So yeah, won't have a lot of sleep. That's for sure. So I'll try my very best to be awake and I'll try to do my very best to be excited, because that's the thing that I can do. I just need to have the right spirit. I need to have the right atmosphere in my mind. It's like, you know, if you have a monkey clapping his hands together, making this annoying sound all the time, yeah, that's the monkey that always wants to talk. It's like, you know, being the guy who just bashes, you know yourself in the head, like, hey, wake up, it's time to do something, and then you are the one that need to do stuff. So there you go. Wasn't that hard? And then hopefully, you know, everything here is gonna be just fine. But yeah, I need to make sure that I'm well prepared for tomorrow, because today is Friday, so that means that tomorrow is Saturday, and I need to be prepared for that. So tomorrow I will be trying to get some good eye shut eye, so I will be ready for tomorrow. That should not be that problematic. Alright, lovely. That looks nice enough. So yeah, let's see how far I'm already. We're already 21 minutes in. Oh, well, that looks like I'm actually doing well, because the first time I did this, I remember it quite well. The first time I did the coloring on the, you know, tail part, I actually was way slower. So I believe that, you know, the speed is coming up, and I'm very happy about that. I really like that that my speed is getting better and better at it. Most likely that's because, you know, I'm trying to do my very best on improving the speed on which I work, improving on the drawing that I work, and improving on the knowledge. No, knowledge is a terrible word here for this. The amount of, you know, I guess knowledge could work. I have no clue what to say here. I do have a clue what I need to say, but I don't know what the wording is. So I have improved upon by time, and time is very important to me. And the more time I improve, the better I get at it. I believe that's the way of doing things. Improving on yourself is the first step. Then acknowledging your failures is the second. I guess improving and failures are the same, but yeah, and it sounds more spiritual, I guess. Just, you know, improving upon yourself is important, because otherwise, you know, you will never get better at it in whatever you do, whatever you wanted to do in the first place. For me, for instance, is getting this, you know, this drawing complete, getting, you know, the colors correct, and getting the color scheme correct, because therefore I will create more of a, you know, better looking tail. Also, these feathers are way better made than the feathers that I use for the wing part. So next time when I use next time I'm gonna be drawing wings, I'm probably gonna be using those wings, this probably kind of texture instead, because this kind of texture looks way more better than the ones of the wings above. Of course, they don't represent moth-like wings anymore, but I do like them more. They feel more alive. They feel more alive here. That's the wording. So, this is great. What do I do now? What do I do next? Well, I have no idea what I'm doing next afterwards. Probably I'm gonna be working on the tail afterwards because, you know, this is the tail, yes, but the bottom part of it or the top part of it. These are just, you know, the steering parts of the feathers, and those feathers also need, you know, coloring. True. This also needs coloring, but it does need less coloring than the ones that are already in use. So yeah. Also, as you can see, after this all, I have no idea. Probably once this all is done, I will be able to draw much faster, or color faster, and that's also important. Yeah, it's always important to be able to color faster. So now what should I do? Well, for instance, I know that I now need to make sure that I have my coloration correct, and I will see soon if that is true. So let's take a look. Yes, it's true. It's the same color. Also, look at this. That's how I colored it. That's pretty damn neat. If we look at this, if we look at this, then it should be. If we look at this, we can also see that I did it like the same, almost like in here. So yeah, it's good to see that things are improving. It's always good to see that things are improving. It's like, you know, restoring from a problem, or restoring something back to, you know, what it used to be, is so delightful to see. It's like, you know, you saved a tree. Yes, I saved a tree. Why? Well, because it's cool to see a tree grow again, to see it bloom and create flowers in there, and then provide apples afterwards. There's nothing more beautiful than just, you know, watching something grow up. Seeing something improve, it feels the same. Even though, you know, there might be tiny improvements in the grand scheme of things, they will guide you towards a better picture. And that's it all about. Improving yourself, creating challenges for yourself, creating the challenges that are, you know, the challenges don't have to be you related. The challenges just need to be your skill related, I believe. So if there is a challenge and you want to accept it, you want to actually accept a challenge that provides the most of the challenge. So if you are good at driving a car but not at driving a horse, then of course you're gonna try to drive a horse, even though, you know, you need to ride it technically in terms, but you get the point. The challenge is, you know that you can drive a car. You know that. You have learned it, you know how to do it, and you don't know how to drive a horse. Well, people say that sometimes that's the same. Well, you know, some people say that, some people don't, but I'm just gonna give it like a real it's just that people said that, you know, you can do it, that is feeling the same, that's why you accepted the challenge. Then you realize, like, maybe it's not, and then, you know, it's a horse and it's a animal, so therefore you got injured or you didn't know how to use the brakes on the horse because it's an animal instead of a car. It doesn't listen manually fast. You need to train it, and therefore, you know, you need guidance. Then guidance is important because then you implement things like, you know, oh, if I now go slow, he will know that I will want to go slow, or if I want to go fast, he knows that I want to go fast. And yeah, things like that. You know, experience even creates more ways of solving a problem. And I think that has a lot to do with, you know, that you have already seen so many puzzles, so hey, you know, if one of those keys fit, then apparently just go for it, because nobody is holding you back. They're just keys. Come on, just casual keys for the living. And if you want those keys, then sure, go ahead, try to get them and try to use them. Why? Because, you know, not everything has to be hard. Not everything, but some things, yeah, sure. Some things can be hard, some things you want to be hard, other things you don't want to be hard, other things you want to be sure, and you want to make sure that they are not that hard at all. For instance, if you had a problem with the color, if you had a problem with the coloration of, you know, your room, and you don't know how to paint, then, but you know how to color. So you know you don't know how to paint, but you know how to do, how colors work. But you want to have a green wall. Well, you pick up a brush and you realize that, you know, the wall is it's not going to be green very fast. You need to apply a lot of layers towards it before, you know, it's going to be green. So yeah, once you're done with the wall, you're going to do it again, and then you're going to do it again. And eventually, you know, you realize like, so I had to implement more times the color, because technically the wall, technically the paint is actually transparent on the wall. So I need to apply more layers before the transparency is gone. Yes, in theoretical means, yes. So if you find a door and you find and you have a key, but the key doesn't fit on this door, maybe it will fit on the other. So that's what experience brings you. Like, if you want to catch a chicken, how do you do that? Well, I have catched a pig. Maybe it's the same. I don't know. Like something like that. Just, you know, the little things of, you know, something that you can compare to makes things way easier, because then you will think of like, alright, so I did learn how to drive a car, I did learn how to drive a bike, and I will be probably able to drive a scooter soon, because, you know, it's almost the same as a bike, but then it has some of the car aspects on it. Something like that. That's, yeah, I think that's the best. I think that's the best kind of example I can give right now. So, after this, I will be happy to say to you guys that I'm trying to do my very best to make this a lovely, entertaining, you know, drawing stream. Even though, you know, I'm not the best person to talk to, because I'm not a very good talking person, especially when I'm trying to concentrate. It's like, yes, the silence, it has happened again. But yeah, I guess it's good that I try to do this. Well, maybe I'll learn from it, you know? Get better at talking. Get better at talking, get better in interacting. I know that I might not be the best of the best when it comes to both of these things, but yeah, I'm trying to improve. I try to improve my voice. I try to improve upon talking longer, without breaks. Without breaks, I mean, yeah, you know, the dead silence between things I said. Anyway, so yeah, I believe that's a good way to where I should left it off there. Also, let's take a look at it. 34 minutes. Well, that's decent. We're almost halfway, and it's already 34 minutes. That's a good surprise. That's a welcome surprise indeed. And why is that? Well, you see, normally I would not be that you. All right, fine. Good program. There you go. So yeah, it's very important that these things are done quite easily. Or well, not quite easily, I mean, they need to be done accurately. So yeah, I'm very happy that the color that I'm using already, that it works out, looks nice, and you know, all this is gonna be quite easy to fix. Because if I have this thing done, so if I have this part of the wing done, I can then go over to here and start there as well. And then, you know, we are connecting every single piece together, and then, you know, you form one whole thing. So the idea of, you know, creating this and then, you know, moving forwards, it's important. All of it is important. You know, all the expertise that you come across, all the information you gather is important. It might not be important to you. It might not be important to the person. Might not be important to the person that told you that, but it might be important to somebody else. Somebody else that you know knows about it. And the more you do, and the more you work on it, the better you get at it. The more expertise you get, the more things you can do. If I would play more, if I would play the piano more, if I would play the piano more and show total interest on it, I could play the piano. I cannot read any damn notes, but I can play the piano. Why? Because I know ways of how to play piano. You can actually try to make it into a game, you know, playing like a Guitar Hero. And then you realize like, so there are the notes are, and that's what I need to play. Alright, fine. And because somebody else, and then because you saw somebody else play it like that, you know, you figure out how to do it yourself. That's at least how I learn how to that's how I learned to play the piano, at least. It's like I cannot read any damn A's, B's, C, D's, E minors, C minors, F minors. I don't know what they mean. The only thing I know is where the hand's supposed to be and how the sound clinks and clunks. And then you have it, there you go. So yeah. Might be a little bit problematic for some people, like, you know, you cannot see anything on the page, but you know how to play it, so therefore you know how to do it. And that's how you learn. That's how you use your, you know, your experience. That's how you use your experience. You fixed a problem that was a problem for you by implementing something that you already know, and therefore you learned how to use your use your experience to find a solution in the problem that you face. Like for instance, if I want them to be a different color, I can do that. How? Well, I learned back in the day that there is a way to do that. How? Well, allow me to show you. Hold your horses. I only do it once. There it is. Press this button, go over the places that you already are, and then boom. Everything will be the same color. And yes, I could do that with, you know, a lot of things. I can do that with outlines, I can do that with the color itself. So if I don't like to have a green head, I can make it red. If I don't want to have a blue head, I can make it brown. And the more I see it, the better I get at it. Because, you know, I know that I know that there is a way to do it. I know how it's supposed to be going and how it's supposed to be done. So yeah. Anyway, my hands are getting a little bit rusty. Oh well, that happens when you look too much into the feathers, and you can already see like, oh man, he is really determined to do this, right? Yep. I will not give up on this. I won't. Even though, you know, it takes a long time before this thing is done. It's better to take a long time than no time at all. And the next time I will make this, it will get even better. Next time I will draw a bird. Because then I'll realize like what I did wrong. So, the idea of these things, the idea of, you know, coloring these things in the name of color is important. But you also need to realize that these things, they're really hard to do. These things are not, you know, your casual run-in-the-mill kind of feathers. These are the feathers in the art. These feathers are need to be three colors instead of one. Because one color is for the red point, then you have the brown point, and then you have the yellow the last color. And once you combine them all together, you get this beautiful shape that the feathers already have on most places. The main downside is that this is a really hard thing to do. I mean it. Why? Because all this stuff really comes down to what do I need to do? What do I need to do to get all this into, you know, how do I get all this? How do I get all of this into one part? Or, no, well, not one. How do I get all of this done? And I have no idea. Why? Because that's why I'm always planning ahead. I'm trying to get, because a lot of stuff needs to be done. Therefore, you know, someday you're gonna be realizing like, oh my god, it's so much. I cannot take it anymore. I need to take a break. And that's where you need to be, you know, focusing on the small bits. Like, if you're just gonna do casually, like what I'm now doing, like, oh, I'm just coloring some parts of the wings in. Oh no, that's not a lot. Then your mind is also gonna be saying, yeah, I guess you're right. It's not a lot at all. And then you realize like, so that my mind knows that it is not a lot, I can know that there is not a lot. Therefore, my mind is on ease. I believe that's how minds work. You see everything, and then everything is gonna be like, all right. So yeah, allow me to grab this beautiful plate here. So I believe that's how I fixed it. That's how I created my own, you know, stress reliever. It's like I'm working only once. I'm only working 1 hour a day on this, and still it's a lot. It's a lot to take in, because holy hell, I am like exhausted working on this. And still, even though I'm exhausted, I realize like I am only doing a tiny bit, but that tiny bit does take a while. Yes, that's how art works. It's not easy. It doesn't just, you know, be done once you're done. No. You need to do colors, you need to do shading, you need to do lighting, you need to do positioning, you need to do a lot of stuff before you even consider it to be art. Or I know that I make mistakes on my own art. I make mistakes because I never learned how to draw certain types of things. And when I draw them, I realize like, oh my god, the hands are too small. And then, you know, you get the point of like, it's all ruined. And I'm not, of course, saying that it's ruined. It's just, you know, it looks a little bit odd, but still, it's really hard sometimes to get things right. That's true. And to get things right, you need to realize, how do I get things right? Well, for instance, you can learn from your mistakes and try again. That's what I'm going to be doing. of course, I said to myself that I wanted to do it this week. Then I realized, like, no, I don't, because this week is gaming, and gaming goes always before drawing when it comes to, you know, having a nice little day. And then, you know, next week I will be able to do it. Next week I will be able to draw. Why? Because then I have a new motivation. I have a different motivation. Different. This week I don't have motivations because I'm like, eh. And then next week it's gonna be like, yes, I need to done this. Need to be done with this, all of it. And then, you know, then the fun starts, because then I will try to do my very best upon making it. Anyway, I believe a lot of this is so much work. And we can already see how much work it is. We can already see it is a lot of work. So allow me to just take the tail again, see how much we done. Alright, so as you can see, the beautiful picture here and the beautiful picture there does implement that all of this is going to be just fine. It's just going to be fine. The coloration is going to be good. The wings are going to be looking well done. I just need to realize, like, what did I do with this? Well, I did tiny little bits of it. So the tinier it gets, I need to just, you know, do a little maybe. Oh. Boop. There you go. So once I'm done with this whole damn thing, I will be starting with, you know, once I'm getting to these things, I will doing little points of, you know, like these. This is the points. I mean, like, this is the amount of stuff I need to do for, you know, getting the wings up and down. So yeah. Anyway, that is it for today. I hope you all have been enjoying it for today. For now, I hope I'll see you all next time. Anyway, and I wish you all a lovely day. Until then, come on, get it correctly. No, nobody wants to go for. All right, fine. Until then, I wish you all a good day and bye.